I had a horrible dream last night. I don't know why. I did all of my usual things for this time of the season. So I was chopping wood, drying meat, gathering berries, digging teamsilla, making preparations. I carried water from the river to our fire. I put my 5 little ones to bed, smiling and squirming. In their eyes, the usual recognition, gratitude, peacefulness, and love. They asked me to tell them the stories of the stars, the beginning of life, until they fell fast asleep, dreaming their Lakota dreams. As I climbed up to bed, something flashed across my mind, like a shock from far away, an explosion. I tried to catch it, but it disappeared. That's when the dream began. A long, dark moment unfolded. As if I was traveling across hundreds of years. All things became afraid. All living things fought to survive. Trees became fearful of being chopped down. Rivers ran scared of being poisoned. Even the air ran for its own breath. It was the fear that had contaminated the world. I looked at my 5 children sleeping in their beds. What would they do if their water was ruined? How would they live?
You're on core land. You're out of your jurisdiction in this water.
The dream went deeper, underground, under the earth. The fire under the earth, the oil that caused it, spread everywhere, up through the water and into the scorched skies, rising oceans, collapsing cities, millions fleeing their homes, starvation, death, and ruin. In my dream, my friends and loved ones were sent to the last place on earth that still had clean air, clean water, unpolluted and uncontaminated. A great river ran through this center place, Minnesosi. We needed to protect the water at all costs. Was this a vision of the future, the present, the past? I don't know. The battle for the future is laid out clearly before me. On one side, greed, fear, money, violence, hate, and oil. On the other, generosity, faith, freedom, peace, and water. The black snake has been prophesied for generations. Ehani. It was foretold that it would bring death, that it would be the youth that would rise up, and that behind them the mothers would rise, and behind them our warriors would rise. We, the seventh generation, are given the task of defeating it. It is called the Dakota Access Pipeline. It is proposed to carry billions of gallons of crude oil from the Bakken Shale in North Dakota to Illinois. To do that, it has to run underneath the Missouri River, the Minnesosi, the water source for 17 million Americans, and the only source of water for my home, the Standing Rock Nation. Pipelines like the Black Snake have burst in the past, permanently destroying watersheds like the Kalamazoo River and many others. In fact, there have been thousands of spills in the past 6 years. Thousands.
We run! We run! For our people! For our people! We run! We run! For water! For water! Water is life!
The Youth Council of our nation took it upon themselves to set about the task of waking the world to our dream. They ran from our reservation at the center of the continent all the way to the headquarters of the colonial system, Washington, D.C.
We run! We run! For our brothers! For our brothers! And our sisters!
They ran there to speak to the president and ask him, please don't destroy the last place we have. Stop the Black Snake and start the healing of this continent. The first days on the blockade, we asked for people to come to stand with us. It was a shout in the dark. If anybody would hear us, if anybody would care. A camp grew along the banks of the Missouri River. We called it Ocheti Shakoi, the 7 council fires. Thousands from all over the continent and the world came to pray with us, to face the fear with love. We call ourselves water protectors. We are here to protect the water. And the people that answered those calls were the strong hearts of their nation.
I did 2 tours in Iraq, 03 and 04. I came back angry and guilty and for the things that we did over there. Once we got there, we realized this war is not about terrorists. This war is about oil. This war is about money. My vow today is to fight for clean water, to fight for a beautiful environment, because the beauty of the land will always show us that we need to take care of each other as well.
I was sitting in my apartment in Washington, D.C. I'm an attorney out there, and as an Indigenous woman, as a keeper of the water, and also as someone that knows how much these projects disparately impact our communities, I got in my car and I came here. It really wasn't a choice. It was, I had to be here. And I had to throw everything I possibly could to try and help stop this pipeline from happening.
What's going on here at Standing Rock isn't just about Standing Rock. It's not just about stopping a pipeline. It's not just about the Missouri River. Although there is 18 million people that get their water from the Missouri River, this is about the entire planet, the planet as a whole. This is about the survival of humanity. We're all here for the same reason, and I'll protect them with my life. They're my family.
Move to the south. Go back to the south camp. Back to the south camp.
This is where my story enters the dream. That's when I learned that at the base of the system is a person in a cage. As we were arrested, they put numbers on our arms. We were put in cages, like dog kennels.
The images are burned into my mind right now of these, the sounds of my people screaming in horror. Our young people shot off those horses with those rubber bullets, and it's something I can't escape from right now. We're not violent criminals, and we're not bad people. We're not murderers, and we're not rapists. We're not drug dealers. Just everyday people that just want a better life for our children. I never understood what they said when they talked about people with PTSD and what they experience. And I understand it now, and I wouldn't wish that on anybody. I hear noises, and it brings me right back to that moment, but it never stops.
It was as if this ancient battle was playing itself out right before my eyes. They came to our sacred burial ground we call Turtle Island. They walked upon the burial sites of our ancestors. We pleaded with them to leave. The water protectors came, and they brought with them their beautiful spirits and their prayers. The youth council and friends who had come to protect the water had come to see and realize that we're not separate from spirit and from life. They stood in the water saying, "We are praying for you." These people are true warriors, these young people, our youth. They were in the water and they didn't get cold. They were sprayed with pepper spray and mace. They didn't get angry. They cried tears of joy. They didn't hurl ugly insults as they were taunted, but they prayed for these people that were spraying them.
We're in the water, we're here to protect the water, so the water's gonna protect us in turn. And I was in there for maybe an hour and a half, and I didn't get hypothermia. That water's freezing.
How spirit's on our side. As we were up there on the front lines, one of the brothers, and I say brothers, you know, they are still our brothers and sisters. He fainted. He was on the front lines and he fainted. Wow. There's prayer here, and we're strong prayer, and we're absolutely protected by spirit. They too are human beings, despite all of the armor they have on. They're tired,
Emotionally
and look at us.
You know,
we're happy.
We defeat fear every day. The battle raged for several days. It's the same story of the Battle of Loa Bighorn, but it's today. The police continued to abuse their authority with violence, just like the 7th Cavalry. Reporters were shot in the middle of interviews.
Oh! Who the fuck is that?
You got hit?
Josh.
Oh my God. Did he just shot you?
Because they stood with us, they were open targets.
What are we doing? Our land is under attack!
Stand up, fight back!
What are we doing? Our water is under attack!
Stand up, fight back!
What are we doing? Our people are under attack!
Stand up, fight back!
This is illegal. They're on treaty land right now. It is illegal for them to be there, and it is illegal for them to even lay their hands or even spray us with, their weapons on our land. Our ancestors are buried on that mountain behind them. It is called Turtle Island, and our ancestors are up there.
When people come up here, we ask that they come here in prayer, not in violence. If you're going to be violent up here, we ask you to stay home. We're peaceful protectors.
Those are our synagogues. Those are our Eiffel Towers, our pyramids. You don't see, when you look out on the land, you don't see anything like that, like how it comes up out of the ground. Everything about us was with the earth, and including our sites. We have everything we need at camp. We chop wood, carry water, tend to the sick and injured. We create art. We report to the outside world. We cook for ourselves. There's no money. There's no electricity. There's no hate. There's no fear. There's no starvation. There's no homelessness. Above all else, we pray.
Your cries. We won't stand for no more oil lies. Let the sacred water be life. Standing Rock, we stand with you tonight.
We lose track of days, not mandated by a clock or a calendar. We are here to serve. We face death on the front lines.
Many which only water is life.
We will not be violent. We will not fight back in that way. We will not feed into the negativity. We won't give that negativity life. We won't give it our life. We are something new on the planet, but we're not. We are something very old. We are warriors of peace. We won't surrender.
This is my weapon. I'm gonna kill him with candy and love and hugs. And well, I only brought a certain amount of candy for you guys. Happy late Halloween.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Give it to the people that police that are good and have a good heart only. No DAPL workers.
Okay.
Tomorrow I'm gonna bring him a poster. I'm here to protect the water and to connect back to my roots and remember who I truly am and what I'm here to accomplish. Because along the way we've lost it by working and not having time to ourselves to get to know who we truly are and what we're here to do. What are they gonna do, shoot me? Okay, and then what? Take one for the team? Take one for the water and our people? Of course. They honestly believe that the pipeline's not going to burst. They've made it okay for them to think that it's okay for it to happen and it's not as bad as it seems. So I want to show them that what we're doing isn't to hurt DAPL, isn't to hurt. We're not trying to hurt each other because they said they're in between DAPL and us. So I just want them to feel. They could feel it.
On the day that we call Survivors Day, Thanksgiving, as Americans all sat down to their dinner table, we built a bridge so that people could get across to Turtle Island to pray and show that we're still here.
We do not want a confrontation. The building of the bridge is an act of aggression to come over to this side. We cannot allow that to happen.
They had been brutalized, but the people weren't afraid. People were doing what their heart was telling them to do.
There does not need to be a confrontation today. Please go back across the river.
Today, as Americans may know, today is Thanksgiving. As Americans may not know because of what we've been taught throughout our lives, is that Thanksgiving is actually a massacre. So for our Native American brothers and sisters, to be here, to be in a protective stance, to say water is life, and to show no fear, unarmed, makes their ancestors proud, and it rewrites history. Today, we rewrite Thanksgiving. We take back thanks-taking, thanks-killing. We rewrite it as a peaceful, prayerful action that shows life.
Being a Native person, we're taught to be gracious hosts. We're taught to be inviting people, to feed whoever's coming into our homes, to feed them and make them feel comfortable. And that's what happened. People came over and they were lost, scared, cold, and we warmed them, fed them, taught them the land and helped them. But it totally flipped, and that gracious host mentality was taken full advantage of.
And they make you react. React mode is a lower mode. Prayerful mode is the power, because you carry the truth.
Respect your right to assemble. Please assemble on the other side of the river, on the clear side of the river, and you can protest all day.
We are mourning this day, which is why we're doing this. This is a day of mourning for us. Stay celebrated. We do not. Remember that. Stay prayerful. Stay peaceful.
Your actions are aggressive.
If anyone doesn't have one.
We have to take an act of aggression. We will begin with water.
Not my brother.
Please go back across the river.
I hate Thanksgiving so much. I struggle with Thanksgiving every single year. It's the beginning of the genocide.
All I want is for my children to have a future and nothing more, nothing less. Just a future.
Those officers drink water from the Missouri River. I told them the other day, what are you gonna say when you go home tonight and your son or your daughter wakes up in the middle of the night and says, Dad or Mom, can I have a drink of water? Are you gonna tell them that you were there protecting that source of life for them? Or are you gonna tell them that you had a gun pointed at my head for protecting that water for your children?
The day after Survivors Day, The police put razor wire around our burial ground, Turtle Island, as if they owned it. It is us who belong to the land. We belong to the water. We belong to the air. We belong to all of creation. And it's not the other way around. I am from here. I'm born of the Oceti Sakowin people. But I know that I'm a guest here. And we're all guests. We're all guests on Mother Earth. Unchi Makha. We're all guests in this dream. The Dakota Access Pipeline isn't the only snake there is. There's hundreds that are being proposed to drill across the United States, to put a pipeline in everyone's backyard. The horrifying vision of this country. This is just one of the battles that we all need to fight. Tatanka Iotake, Sitting Bull, was a prophet. One of the things that he said was that if a man loses something and goes back to look for it, he'll find it. He's speaking to us in this day in how to reclaim our identity and to heal. When you come to camp, you're greeted by security at the front gate, saying, "Welcome home." Our camp is a place to relearn values we have lost. And that's why it's home. I am not dreaming. I'm awake. I have been woken by the spirit inside that demanded I open my eyes and see the world around me. See that my children's future was in peril. See that my life couldn't wait in slumber anymore. See that I was honored to be among those who are awake. To be alive at this point in time. To see the rising of the Oceti Sakowin. To see the gathering of nations. And beyond that, the gathering of all races and all faiths. Will you wake up and dream with us? Will you join our dream? Will you join us?
this time, please conclude your ceremony. Please conclude your ceremony. The time that I gave you is.
Still not done. Church isn't over.
In reference to our agreement, I allowed you time to complete your ceremony. Please move to the south of the bridge.
I wanted to tell you, Wapila! Wapila for taking time to allow us to sit here and prayer. So I wanted to say thank you. Thank you!
The 9 a.m. TV house is a giant dome. See this white? That's a freezer. The other side of that.
I don't know. Got it.
Firekeeper, did we get a firekeeper?
Running over there already. All accessories. So if you don't mind putting them over there. Thank you.
A pair of horns coming up. 'Cause what that'll do is you'll have a, yeah, but with this pole as well.
Yeah, you can
remember, we're standing for something that is greater than our pride. It's greater than our ego. It concerns the people of this world, the planet. The earth is our mother. And the way we treat her is very important because let's be realistic here. She's going to continue on. We will not outlive her. So if she has to go on without us, then that's what's going to take place. But if we come together in unity and we start changing our behavior and the way we think, the way we treat her, we become coherent, we become one with her again. As we give and show that love and we stand in that prayer in unity. That's what this is all about. In protecting the water, we're protecting each other and our future generations. Just keep that in mind and thank you all for being here. Love, prayers, positive energies, and respect to every single one of you standing here. Awesome. Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Anyone your blankets and scarves?
We know who's responsible. Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan Chase. Shame on you. Shame on you. Shame on you. Shame on you. Shame on you.
We need a medic!
Medic's coming through.
Head wound?
We got water.
Yeah, but we only have one.
He also needs a blanket. Who has a blanket?
There's a blanket right behind him.
Put a blanket.
Let's go.
That's how they really loose.
Communications are a bit difficult because we're pretty far away from the nearest city. Batteries go down really fast in the cold. And power, where do they get power? Well, some of it is sustainable. Check this out. Wonder why I'm pedaling like this? Not just for exercise, although that works too. It's also to create power. And the person that brought this here, Mike Cobb, he can have about 25 devices that work, that get all powered up, and then people don't have to worry about their batteries going dead, but they do have to put in a little work to make sure that their phones are charged. Yeah?
You like pause for a few seconds. That's perfect for my wide shot because I can cut to it. All day, all night, brother. The only time they quit was during the storm. Gotta saw it first.
Teddy Shapiro Camp is here for one reason and one reason only: to protect the water for us and for our children and for the children yet to be born. Let's not lose sight of that fact. We try to do these things in a prayerful and in a good way, in a peaceful way. Look to the elders, look to people who are set up in the leadership positions to guide us in how we can do this in the best way. We must remain peaceful and prayerful in everything that we do. Otherwise, we've seen the results of small incidents that have happened, and it dilutes our message. We are here to stop a pipeline. We are here to protect water for 18 million people downstream.
So I would say come here and take a look. I would say come here, take a look. Even if you didn't agree, go to the back line, watch what's going on. Watch the people being rubber bulleted for doing peaceful protest. If a 62-year-old woman is threatening to you, I don't think you should be behind a badge.
Put this one in. Yep.
I don't think that anybody has a right to come and destroy
the water that I grew up on, the land that I walk on, and the place where I bury my children and my father.
I'm sorry. Could you do that again? I'm sorry, you cast a shadow right in the middle of the picture.
What's your hope for today? My hope for today? To honor the veterans, because the veterans are here, because they have served and they have done everything you could possibly imagine to stand. We didn't build that barrier. Martin County did.
Okay. Parts of it are gone now today. Do you know when they left or how they got it?
You know, Martin County's getting sued.
Yeah.
The governor's getting sued.
Come on.
They were waiting for the final permit from the Army Corps of Engineers and President Obama to drill under the water. The Army Corps has denied that permit.
Oh, it's victory time. Let's go. Oh, he's blessing the crowd here.
Don't forget the families that were united here today and the cultures that what we lived. It took a nation and the world to do it. This is family's land, and the family's land belongs to the people.
I got involved by DNA. You know, water is life. We're part of water. And what I've seen happening here in Cannonball is what's happened back on my homeland, my reservation. That's why I got involved. Our traditional food source is gone. Our water quit running through. And when we got here, it was something that I seen was lacking, was filming from an indigenous perspective. And our story wasn't being told correctly. And as I started documenting, I started documenting that Morton County wasn't involved in the very beginning. It was the DAPL police. They just kind of aided them.
One thing we wanted to share is what we're doing here, this round dance. It's not just for show. This is an expression of kinship and friendship. Here, the police force, thank you for witnessing this. To take this back to your leaders, to your own families, to say that this fight is based in love and peace. That the camp that you see down there is nonviolent direct action. We ask our relatives, if you're in uniform, if you can, come and dance with us. Share this space. Don't be scared. We're not going to judge you if you dance kind of goofy. It's all right.
In the beginning, I witnessed the Morton County Police Department participating in the ceremony, taking that medicine, sharing that medicine, participating in the round dances, smiling and greeting people in a good way, the way it was supposed to be when you participate in ceremony together. But then they removed themselves from the circle, and that's when the violence began.
Okay, so we're live from what just happened over here was they stopped a construction site down here on a Saturday, and they didn't think anybody knew, but they got people down there monitoring this area, members down there making sure that they're not drilling. They got pepper sprayed. I'll post some videos of some of the members getting pepper sprayed, attacked by dogs, and everyone's doing okay. Everyone's a little shaken up here, but they're doing all right. We're close to 1,000 people over here all the way down. So it's pretty intense here, what's going on here. I'm over here. We got some relatives on horses that are farther down, making sure that the warriors are okay. And it's pretty intense, you know, the way the officers are treating people here, bystanders.
I do know that one of the kids got sprayed in the face by the private security. He got maced, and then another woman got bit by a dog.
757.
From DAPL Private Security.
Morton County had covered the tracks of the Dakota Access Security by not charging them at all. And for that, the water protectors therefore got the charges. Felony trespass. Among those who were charged was Amy Goodman for inciting a riot and trespassing.
I think it's important to emphasize that the tribe has been using the lawful process to vindicate its important legal rights in this matter. And when its concerns weren't listened to, it brought a lawsuit. On Friday afternoon, we filed some very important evidence about the discovery of some sacred, major culturally significant sites that were directly in the pipeline's route. And it was miles away from where any construction was happening. And we were stunned and shocked to hear that they took that information and Saturday morning over a holiday weekend went out and bulldozed the entire site.
So are you suggesting you basically gave the court what the Dakota Access Pipeline Company and Energy Transfer would use as a roadmap to destroy?
That looks like what has happened here.
On September 3rd, during the dog attacks, as I was reporting up on the hill, documenting that moment that the desecration of sacred land from the Dakota Access Pipeline jumping forward 20 miles was hurting the people, hurting the women, hurting the elders, to see the ancestors' lands being desecrated. The goal is to educate and empower digital smoke signals. My job and role there was to educate and empower not just our indigenous people, but also non-native relatives that come in solidarity, come to camp, they come to learn, they come to find their own spirit and connection to the earth in hopes that they also too can let go of some of that pain and hurt in their history, in their family history, in the U.S. history. I think it's important to educate yourself about the indigenous people, the Paiute, Shoshone, and Washoe, Oklahoma, the Trail of Tears, Tecumseh, Sitting Bull. Your contribution will be when you start to see us fighting for the land, you'll understand why. Even if it's for clean water, as you see. Because for us, we're connected to the earth, and that's why we protect the earth where we're at. We protect our food source, our water, our medicines for future generations. When you're disconnected, like Dakota Access Pipeline is disconnected, they can desecrate the land with no consequence in their mind, but there's that spiritual consequence, that emptiness that they have That's the consequence, and that's the result.
The reason I came here was to protect the water, to protect future generations. I feel that it's my duty as a big sister to stand up for the children.
When I first saw a picture of one of my friends, he had locked himself down to a piece of equipment. It was like an invitation for me to finally be involved in all the things that I feel strongly about and defending what I believe in.
Right before I got here, I had a dream about my mom who had passed away, and my dream, my mom had asked me for water that I wasn't able to give her. And so I just woke up and started fundraising to bring supplies to Standing Rock.
A lot of spiritual people all over the world, talking about what's happening to their communities, their territory, as we stand here at Standing Rock. We're up against a corrupt system because all my life, we pray for the health and well-being of our people, but we never got that. We see the abuse that they're putting on our reservation. Our reservations were concentration camps 100 years ago, and we're trying to heal as a nation.
This fight we see here, what's happening here on the ground in Standing Rock Sioux Nation, it matters to fight this pipeline, to the communities here, to the people here. But it also matters because it connects to the greater struggle for us to protect Mother Earth and to protect our future generations from destructive climate change. When we talk about this pipeline, we have to talk about where the oil is coming from. When we talk about where the oil is coming from, we have to talk about the man camps that are there that threaten the very lives of our women and children. That's the thing, that climate change isn't just about the earth, isn't just about the environment. Climate change is about our relationship to each other and how we treat each other, and it's about climate justice. That's what it's about, justice.
As we were cruising down 134, hitting the 1806, you saw South Dakota Highway Patrol there and decided to strike up a conversation with them to educate them about the indigenous issues. Most of the officers that I have spoken with and asked them about the indigenous issues had no clue on why they were there. They were just there on assignment. They're on duty.
Hey, we're just doing a documentary here. Is there anything that we need to know about this road? Be safe or anything like that?
Protests up here. That's probably why you're up here, isn't it?
We're just documenting,
Yeah, you guys. You're just up here just decided to come up here?
Oh, yeah.
Come up here in the middle of nowhere, North Dakota.
Man,
you know what's going on. There's no reason to come up here, is there?
Let me tell you something. We've been here for over 500 years.
Yeah.
We've been here predating Western Contact. Yeah, we got all kinds of reason to travel through here.
So you just came up here now and decided to do that?
I've been up here many times working with the youth and at-risk youth, teen suicide, sexual abuse, all those issues that are happening from over the last 500 years. We're doing historical trauma training. You're on what is it, sacred sites that are all around here, right?
I've heard they're sacred sites.
Yeah. A lot of the roads throughout here.
What makes this road here sacred? I guess I'm kind of curious since you said it's a sacred site. I'm just
how about this? Napija Diepa, Nanishta Hai Diepa. We're at power and place. Where I pray right now is sacred. Okay. It does not have to be designated as sacred by you or anyone else in this country. It's where we pray.
You seem pretty reasonable, but I have seen things from local Martin County. I personally experienced things that from them that just feels just like violations of the Constitution. Just feels.
What constitutional rights do you feel you got violated? What rights?
So last month on the 6th, I was filming and I started flying a drone. They came up and tried to steal my drone, and I was totally cooperative. Now, if he had been a neutral officer, he would have just came up and politely reminded me, hey, sir, you need to be at this distance away from the crowd. If you're not going to listen, you should land it. It's the equivalent of jaywalking in the drone world. While this was happening, they were allowing the spray painting on the blades of the machines to happen and weren't saying anything about it. So it's like they're creating a narrative that they want, allowing actions that they want to happen to make us seem unlawful, meanwhile targeting me because I'm filming.
You said your constitutional rights were violated there.
My right to film.
What constitutional amendment do you feel was violated?
My right to film.
Okay.
My right to document the freedom of press.
Press? Are you the press?
Yeah. Independent media. Huh?
Who do you work for? Who's the press agency?
I'm independent media. Like I said, they're tipping the scales of justice, and it's not in our favor, and it's not to make a just outcome. It's, in effect, to deny us justice. So there's a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff that people need to be aware of right now. What's happening now is going to set the precedent, I believe, for future movements like this. And we all know with Trump coming in, there's going to be more movements like this because us, the people, we love the earth, we love each other, we're not going to stop standing up. So we got to pay attention, we got to get the word out, we got to make sure that our water protectors are protected.
Know your law, know your rights, know your First Amendment, your Fourth Amendment. They cannot come into your vehicle without a warrant, probable cause. They can't just bully their way. They have no warrant to grab anything. There we go. So, did you guys have a warrant to go through that vehicle?
Yep.
Can we see the warrant for that vehicle you just went through? They had no warrant. They can't go through the vehicle. Know the rules and laws. For Indian people, it's double. We know federal law. We got to know state law. Man, it's hard to be indigenous. You know, we got to know cultural law, protocols. It's not easy, but we do it. But how did you, can I see your warrant that you
You're
said
free
you...
to leave.
You said you had a warrant
free
to
to
go
leave.
the vehicle.
You're free to leave.
Can I see the warrant? That's all I'm asking. Can I see the
You
warrant?
can talk to the state's attorney's office and they can discuss that with you.
But-
You are free to leave.
Okay, so for the record, you said you had a warrant. That's all I'm asking.
You're free to
I'll
leave.
leave, but you got to answer
You can
that
discuss
question.
that with the state's attorney, sir. You're free to leave.
Who's the state's attorney?
You can look that up as well. I don't need to give you any information.
Shouldn't
Thank
you give
very
me some paperwork? You've stolen property.
No, we
That's
have
all
not
I'm asking.
stolen anything. We
You-
simply seized evidence of a crime. You're free to leave. Good day.
Where's the crime at? Can you tell me where the crime was at?
Our
You
business
took
here is-
property, and
our
I'm
bus-
asking you for correct information. Is all I'm asking for. Yes, but the attorney's going to ask you this too. This says makes no sense.
The attorney will have the.
Which county is 54?
Ask the questions, okay?
All I'm asking is for names,
That's what I'm
and that's
telling
as simple as
Okay.
it gets. I'll leave, but just what I'm saying is,
Thank you.
is all I need is a name, and
Thank you
that
for
shouldn't be a
leaving.
problem.
Okay.
Wow. Well, thank you guys for. I don't even know what this is. All I'm asking for is what county is this in, what the badge name is. This could, the name is on here though. What is the name on here?
Good night. Have a nice day.
I don't know why they couldn't just politely tell you what was going on, explain the piece of paper that they just gave to you. I don't know why that's so difficult. I thought that the police were in the business of trying to serve people, and that's clearly not what's going on.
And we can also ask, what does it mean to be harassed, by an officer? If they follow you, what's the distance of being harassed, just in your professional opinion?
There's no distance.
They can follow you as long as they want, just to follow you? What if we stop and they stop, and then we go and they go, and we stop and they stop?
Hey, how are you?
Byron. How you doing? Don't know your name.
Huh?
I don't know who you are. What's your name?
Oh, I know who you are. What's up?
Just wondering what's going on. You guys are
With what?
following us, just standing there.
Patrolling.
Just following? It's kind of quite a bit of patrol.
Yeah.
Is there something that we need to be safe from, or
No.
for our safety? No.
No, we're still patrolling.
Okay.
What do you guys? What do you guys out here looking for?
Dang, so what do you think of that? Guy knew me by my name, So that's pretty crazy.
Yeah. Well, yeah. For being a journalist.
For being a native journalist at that.
So they're
Yes.
they're keeping a close eye on people through Facebook, and
So we'll go here again. We're going live here, guys.
yeah.
Oh, relatives. Bija. Tuvino. Have a good day. Warren County's not the problem. They're a part of the problem.
Right.
And they become the distraction from an oil
Well,
company.
Right. They become a puppet
Yeah.
on strings.
And so that's what I've
By
seen.
money and
And when I was documenting these guys, it wasn't who I wanted to document, because while they were doing what they were doing, the Dakota Access Pipeline was moving all their equipment and moving.
Right.
And that's when I first realized this was a distraction.
Well, and that's why I'm a fan of live feeds rather than a news clip.
Right.
A news clip is cut here and there to where a live feed is a full length video.
Yeah.
You can't argue with that.
Well, I think the real danger is that the powers that be will try to elevate the status of what we're trying to do here as domestic terrorism. That becomes a justification for more vicious and massive repression, because the human rights have already been violated on a number of different levels.
Mm-hmm.
They're using domestic resources on behalf of an international corporate entity to contain and repress sovereign nations, as well as citizens of the United States who are in solidarity with sovereign nations. But as I said, the real danger is that for them to begin to consolidate their resources and treat this movement as if it's a domestic terrorist movement.
That's what
This
we're
is just
witnessing.
another moment in the increasing fascist policies of this government, both in terms of what's going on here, but also as we move into a Trump moment. So it's a very, very crucial issue.
Yeah.
And I just want you to know, my brother, you use my name on any occasion to defend the dignity of my precious indigenous brothers and sisters. That's what I'm here for.
Oh, thank you.
That's what
Appreciate
I'm
it.
here for, my brother. Indeed.
We're sorry. Your call cannot be called. Morton County Sheriff's Department.
Hi, I need to report an assault.
Okay, where did it occur at?
Standing Rock. They're innocent, unarmed people being attacked with water in militia-style police, firing at point-blank range with high-powered mace on unarmed people. Who protects the people?
Ma'am, yeah, if there's police there, then it has
The police are the ones attacking innocent, unarmed people. So what do we do to stop the police literally hitting people at point-blank range in the face? People can lose eyes. People are going to get hypothermia. People could die. We have elders here. We have children here. We have all ages here. Nobody is armed except for the police. Who protects the people from the police?
Well, I guess if you want to put it up the chain of command, the next person to talk to would be the governor's office.
Love is the strongest, this path is the hardest. But if we were strong enough to do it, we wouldn't see it. Our prayers would not be needed. This movement's very needed. Indigenous wisdom unheeded and sacred things depleted. I'm Mexicano, Malacota, and I'm white too. I'm mixed with everyone, so part of me's just like you. Every group of human beings shares the same stars. And if the earth is not your mother, are you from Mars? Since 1492, 500 years and counting. Surviving the genocide they call colonizing my turtle island. What is a fossil fuel? Continued destruction, nothing new. Live in a system, taking our children, shifting their feelings till nothing's true. I had that money in front of me, but I left it. Cause oil money's dirty if my mother gets disrespected. We're disconnected, these times are hectic and feeling heavy. But still we love all living beings and suffer for the many. We are peaceful people, that's why we walk with prayer. And if that wasn't true, we wouldn't be standing here. We're peaceful people who walk with prayer. Turtle Island, have no fear. Despite what they show in the media, we're kind people, hold your ground. Change is coming now.
This was a moment in time where the United States had the opportunity, Obama had the opportunity to let the nation heal by supporting the indigenous issues there. This is a moment in history that America can make a wrong right and help a nation heal. Not just a select few, but the whole nation as the world is watching. In the beginning, my job was to educate and empower and teach our non-native relatives digital protocol, when and when not to film the children, not the permission of the parents, not to film ceremony. Those times are sacred. And also to participate in the ceremony before you film. Connect your spirit so you know why you're there. Educate and empower yourself. To learn about us, to learn about yourself, to learn why we are all there together, why your spirit drew you there. That was important to share. Things changed. They made sense after I was here. They made sense. All the things that when you're talked to and you don't listen and you hear, your spirit listens. And when you get more connected to ceremony, and part of that ceremony, you start to really figure that out. I know almost dying, a few years ago opened my eyes onto why I had to come home. What I thought was a good life at that time, teaching was. But as I start to find myself looking back and then looking forward, and I'm supposed to be here.
In January, in the dead of winter, I brought my babies back to look out over the camp. I knew it might be the last time.
I was thinking everything's in limbo. But I look at the camp and I'm happy.
In December 2016, because of our outcry, President Obama stopped the pipeline temporarily, sent the whole project back for a full environmental impact study. A bold victory for the rule of law and for the people. But this moment didn't last long. The Black Snake attacked. On his second day in office, Trump ordered the Black Snake forward, overturning the will of the people and the rule of law itself. And in mid-February, the drilling began again. We could do nothing to stop it.
The struggle unites everybody. In our country, your average American should be worried about the constitutional violations that are being perpetrated out here. They were saying they were going to fine anybody that's sending humanitarian aid. We don't know where we're heading with Trump. We could be facing fascism or authoritarianism, Orwellian-like, and we need to be prepared for that.
Okay, yeah, the MRAP armored vehicle has passed through the concrete barrier. Or are those Humvees? Okay. Looks like they're getting ready to make a move on camp on territory that is treaty territory of the Great Sioux Nation under the Fort Laramie Treaty of 1868.
On February 22nd, the Army Corps of Engineers and the state of North Dakota deployed federal and state troops to clear out our main camp. Morton County Sheriff's Department, the genealogical and ideological descendants of General Custer, came in with military force. They slashed teepees with knives and arrested dozens of water protectors engaged in peaceful prayer at gunpoint, including many elders.
They're moving in. The Chete Oyate camp has been completely occupied now.
You look like a very prayerful man. Why don't you be honorable and set down your badge right now? In front of 6,100 people.
Oh, shit! My hip! Ah, he broke my hip!
Yeah, they're running after someone. Oh. Another officer just tackled and took someone down.
The police brutalized the water protectors and the press once more, but we kept our honor. We remained nonviolent, with tears in our eyes. The people remained strong until the last minute. To keep them from the disrespect of the invading officers, structures were burned in ceremony. The physical manifestation of our dreams went into the sky in smoke and flames. Although our camp is gone, our spirit is not broken. It is stronger than ever. It has spread throughout the land, throughout the world, like cottonwood seeds in the wind.
We are water protectors. We are against a horrible pipeline that will destroy 600 acres of wetland forests.
Demonstrators refer to themselves as water protectors, chained to 55-gallon barrels.
Protesters were on federal lands owned by the U.S. Army Corps.
Our lives and our water are not for sale.
Members of No Plains Pipeline voiced their opposition to the Diamond Pipeline. When an encampment could start, groups say it could start as early as today.
What started in Standing Rock is now all over the world, and the battle wages on. Protest camps are being built to fight pipelines and fracking across the globe. To stop the Diamond Pipeline in Oklahoma, the Bayou Bridge Pipeline in Louisiana, and in Florida. In Australia, they are locking the gates to gas drilling. In the Amazon, indigenous people fight against oil pipelines. In the UK and France, Spain, Poland, and Germany. In Africa, in the South Pacific, and in Asia. All over the world, water protectors and land defenders are rising up. We are planet protectors now, global protectors. We have awoken. We will wake up millions more. Will you wake up? Will you join the millions of people that are taking their money out of banks that fund these pipelines in a massive divestment campaign?
We say indeed, fund the pipeline. One day, your kids are gonna give us thanks.
Will you join the water protectors rising up in the streets across the nation? In New York, San Francisco, Omaha, every city and every corner of the nation, big and small.
It was just a small group of kids who started this entire thing. And to see what great change we brought on as youth, that was amazing. That was powerful. It is not done what is happening here. The fight is not over, and it doesn't intend to be soon.
This movement has always been of the people, not of any government. It was always we, the people, that were always on the ground, in the front lines. It was always the people that led, common people. So the people have to continue that. So although our camp has burned, it has sprung up thousands of places across the globe, spurring growth as the wildfires across the prairies. The spirit of our people cannot be conquered because we are the spirit of the water and the earth itself. Our ancestors are calling on us. We have the chance to resist and to change America, the globe, forever. So I'll ask you once again, will you join us? Will you join our dream?
Always give what you can, even if your allies draw lines in the sand and dig. Always dig a little deeper. Sometimes it's hard to be my brother's keeper. Love, so you let love in. Baby, I am home in the wake of your skin, and it's crazy how we wear a ceremony. Always be open to your path and your journey, yes. She cradles my loneliness, our home, let her forage nest. Universal test, feel the weight of my love, put your hand on my chest and rest. In the cradle of my arms, the battle that we face is the place where our scars come from. And to pick up the gun, my love, we are destined to teach these ones to be brave and never run away. Courage is birthed from the womb on the first light of day. The other day you were born, you came out perfect, never meant to be torn in silence. Never been so loud in the violence, never been so proud of a people. When we're fighting for a change, not afraid to lose it all despite all the rage. We are animals and we cannot be caged. Provoke us to fight, so we burn a little sage and write poetry. Wiser than the enemy will ever be, the minority and authority. Are you here to protect or arrest me? I can't tolerate the hate and I'm losing sleep. Can't breathe cause they're choking out the war in me. Immorality, yeah. Love letters to God. I wonder if she reads them or if they get lost in the stars. Stars in the stars. So many parts to a heavy heart. If there's no beginning, then where would you start? Start, start, where would you start? Human souls, so we carve them into story totem poles. Cause we're always searching for a certain goal, a pattern of physics, a role. Don't believe all you're told and open up your fist. A misconception, you can fight like this and praise. With the power of prayer, if God's on our side, we can take the stairs to the heavens. Flipping through my chapter 7, I live with the snakes in the great deception. No court in this country from men who steal from the mother on paper with pen. And we're tripping down a red dirt road and we're asking, is this the way we should go? Kissing soft feet of my goddess, we walk the earth, baby, yeah, we got this focus. And it's redirected, grateful, and I'm resurrected, stubborn, but I know the way. You're the skin on my drum, to your rhythm I will sway. Take my hand, I won't lead you astray. We will not go gently into the darkest of days. Grandma's here, and she says persevere. Take a walk in her mocks, taste the trail of tears. And our fears are the same as they ever were. Beers numb the pain of the Holocaust gears. Always mine but in motion, maybe, baby, be an island or an ocean. Your arches, how they bend and contract on my conscience. Never slip through the grip of my thesis. And my theory is I shine in your presence, a deliverance, yeah. Love letters to God. I wonder if she reads them or if they get lost in the stars. Stars in the stars. So many parts to a heavy heart. If there's no beginning, then where would you start? Start, start, where would you start?